Well, there's no more speculation. There's no more arguing about it. There's no more assuming. It's official. Cade Cunningham is having season ending surgery on his shin. He will miss the rest of this year.
You are Locked On Pistons, your daily Detroit Pistons podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What's the deal? Welcome back to another episode of the Locked On Pistons podcast. Oh my goodness, I'm tired. I just got teary-eyed for a second there. My apologies. Thank you for making Locked On Pistons your first listen of every single day. I'm your host, Kuka Hill. You can find me over on Twitter at Kuka Hill. Make sure you guys go over to the YouTube channel at Locked On Pistons, hit that subscribe button, or leave us a 5-star review on whatever podcast platform you are listening to this on. And today's episode is brought to you by PrizePicks. First-time users can receive a 100% instant deposit match up to $100 with promo code Locked On. That's PrizePicks.com. Use promo code Locked On. Before we get into the news today, man, I just want to say to you guys, for those of you guys who are listening to the podcast on the podcast platforms, I know a lot of you guys just have it up on YouTube. You guys just have it playing. But those of you guys who listen on the podcast platforms, I apologize greatly for yesterday's podcast. I had it scheduled for 3 in the morning for all of you guys who take your kids to the school in the morning. You guys go on your little daily run, etc. For you guys listening, you always do in the morning, but it was sitting at, are you sure you want to schedule? And I forgot to click yes. So it never scheduled yesterday. So I published it really late yesterday. It was like 5 p.m. when I got off of work. I really apologize to all of you guys, but hey, now you guys got 2 episodes to listen to today. So I apologize for that. We'll try to make sure that doesn't happen again. But anyways, it's happened, guys. There's no more speculation. There's no more assuming. There's no more arguing about it. It's official. The face of the Pistons franchise, Cade Cunningham, is going to miss the rest of this season after he gets shin surgery on this shin injury that he's had since last month. And initially, we were told that he was going to be reevaluated in a week. It was just going to be a rest. But as we know with this Pistons team, as we know with this Pistons coaching staff and this training staff, that you can never really trust everything they say immediately. You can't really trust everything. As soon as I told you guys, as soon as Dwayne Casey was asked again a week later, and he gave a little bit of an ambiguous answer and kind of, left it open and all that kind of thing, I told you guys immediately, yep, there must be something more to this because this is how it always goes. And sure enough, obviously a few weeks ago we got the report that it is a stress fracture and that he was considering season-ending surgery. And now, officially on December 12th, reported by Adrian Wojnarowski first, Cade Cunningham will be getting season-ending surgery on his shin. So before going down, Cade Cunningham played in 12 games this year. He averaged 20 points a game, 6.2 rebounds, 6.0 assists. He was shooting 41% from the field, 28% from deep, 83% from the free throw line. He was playing pretty well. He had a few tough games before going down, but it looked like he was going to have a really damn good season. The final game that he played against Boston, he only put up 4 points, and he was shut down after that. If you took that game out, he would be averaging 21, 6.5 on the year on 43, 31, 83 splits, which is much better. So it looked like Cade was going to be having a really damn good year this year, and taking another step. That mid-range was coming along. He just looked like he was starting to figure things out, and he was ready to take another step forward. Was he becoming a superstar this year? Probably not this year. It didn't look like he was going to be, Luka this year. But it looked like he was legitimately taking a step forward this year and would probably be there in a few years, if not next year. He was looking like he was going to be a lot of fun to watch this year. And sadly, he had this injury. Now he's going to be out for the year. It's been rumored that this is going back even to the preseason, even to the offseason, that this was something that he had been dealing with. The shin injury, he's been dealing with this going all the way back to the preseason. A lot of people were speculating this is something that he was dealing with that led to his poor shooting from beyond the arc. There's been a lot of speculation about it, and obviously we've referenced this article on the podcast a ton of times. But James Edwards III over at The Athletic, he had a doctor on there, interviewed with him, I believe like 2 weeks ago now that it was. And the doctor basically talked about how surgery would be the best option for him for a young player like Cade. He very, very, very likely make a full recovery and come back. And if he's just rested it and tried to come back, it's very likely they would come back up in the future. And there was no reason to just rest and try to come back if this is going to be something that's reoccurring in a season that's lost for the Pistons. They're not competing for anything. There's no reason to risk your future health with your face of the franchise when you could just get surgery and have it just be done with right there, and he'd be back next season fully ready to come back and let the world on fire. But this is where we're at now. This is probably the best case scenario. On Wednesday, I am bringing on my good friend Sham, who is in the medical field. He's going to talk with us all about this surgery, what it means, why they went this way, what does it do, he's going to explain all the intricacies of it. On I believe that will be Thursday's podcast. I'll schedule it out for Thursday, so stay tuned for that. But the main thing I'm looking at here, man, with this, obviously it sucks that Cade's not going to be here for the rest of the year. I've told you guys for a long time. This is what I believed was going to happen. This is what it sounded like the Pistons were going to do. This is what it was rumored like behind the scenes that it was going to be happening. So I was expecting this to happen, but it feels like even expecting it and then the news dropping, it made it like even more sad that damn, this is official, man. It's like, okay, he's for real gone for the year, man. It's like it sucks, but one of my main takeaways is that Cade can be able to rest up. He's going to be 100% going into next year. He's going to, again, like I said, rest up, maybe even get stronger, put a little bit more weight on. He'll be able to do whatever he has to do entering his third year, and he should be ready to go. It says way before training camp of next year. So he should be straight for next year. And the best thing about that will be, I'm sorry that we have to look at it like this already in December, but without Cade, this team's going to have a very high lottery pick this year. Likely, it could be the worst team in the league this year. It could end up with the top odds, which I know the top 3 odds all get the same percentages, but if you get one, the farthest it can fall is 5. So I think this is a good shot. The Pistons could end up with the first odds, and they would add another big piece to the young core in a stacked draft, especially if they were to get Wembanyama, obviously. But Cade may be coming back next year with another key piece added to the young core next year, with another young high lottery pick, very top of the draft lottery pick kind of thing. Another year of Killian Hayes improving, another year of Sadiq Bey, Isaiah Stewart improving, of Jane Ivey getting through that rookie year, trying to get through the rookie bumps and taking another step going into his second year, along with the fact the Pistons are going to have a ton of cap space in this upcoming offseason. So they're going to have another year of improvement from these young guys without Cade. They get another year of full run, and they should continue to get better. We've already seen Killian get much better with this extended run, but Sadiq and Stu, hopefully they continue to get better as well this season. You got another high draft pick coming too, and you got a ton of cap space to add a bunch of guys, however route they want to go, whether it's a bunch of veterans, whether they see other young guys that they like, however they want to go. If they want to, fill the cap space by trades, however they want to go about it, they have a bunch of cap space to do whatever they want this offseason. So when Cade returns, he's going to have a unit with him. It's not going to be like this past year. It's not going to be like this past year where fans are trying to make it bigger, make this team bigger than what they were, or believing in them and being biased and blinded because they want the good stuff to happen immediately and they can't wait. No, next year he actually should have a squad next to him. They have the flexibility to do so next season. So Cade's not going to be coming back, hopefully, to a team he has to carry and is one of the worst teams in the league when he's off the floor, one of the worst teams we've ever seen statistically, like it was in the first 2 weeks when he's off the floor. No, he should be coming back to a legitimate team, to legitimate teammates, and a team that should be ready to make a playoff push that will be led by Cade Cunningham, their face of the franchise, who will be fully healthy. And, again, like I said, it sucks that we have to be talking like that in December already, but that's the reality of it. But it does make me excited, and I'm really looking forward to next year. And I'm happy that Cade's going to have this much time, to get ready, to get healthy, and, he's going to have that team behind him. And I'm really excited to see that next year. So, this year we're going to continue to get extra run from Killian Hayes and Jaden Ivey in that backcourt. I think that's a storyline that's going to keep it fun to watch, those two guys. But yeah, face of the franchise out till next year. It sucks right now, but to be honest, it may work out best for the Pistons in the end. I know no one wants to hear that right now. And trust me, I want to see Cade play too. It sucks. But if you look at a silver lining, this could work out best for them in the end. Get another top draft pick, possibly get Wembanyama with all that cap space. It could work out for the best, especially if Cade when Cade comes back fully healthy, it could be best, man. But let me know in the comment section down below, man. I know it's hard to try to find silver linings when you're missing your face of the franchise, but that's what we got to do, man. December already. Let me know in the comment section down below how you guys feel about Cade already being out or being ruled out for this season with this surgery. Let me know what you guys' feelings are on it, man. Comment section down below or over on Twitter at Kooky Hill. When we come back, we got some more and much more in-depth rumors and analysis on a Bojan Bogdanovic possible trade. The Los Angeles Lakers apparently are really interested in it. We got a bunch of stuff to talk about when we come back. But first, I got to tell you guys about one of our sponsors, PrizePicks. PrizePicks, let's take an example of why. Let me show you guys an example of why this app is one of my favorite apps out there. So, for example, let's say it's Monday Night Football. The Cardinals are playing, and the Pistons were playing in the same night. I can take the over on Kyler Murray's passing yards and his rushing yards, and then also take the over on Killian Hayes' points, Jane Ivey's points, and then the over on, let's say, James Conner's rushing yards. Well, I can do that, and I can put it into the exact same entry with PrizePicks. It's the best daily fantasy app out there, and this is exactly why. You can do cross-sports entry, and it makes it a lot more interesting, a lot more fun to do. Do you want me to be straight up with you? You simply pick 2 to 6 players to see if they score more or less than their PrizePicks projection. You can win up to 25 times your money on any single entry. No competing against other people. It's just you versus the projections available. PrizePicks offers projections on any sport that you watch. This includes NBA, NFL, MLB, NHL, PGA, college football, men's college basketball, women's college basketball, soccer, WNBA, esports, NASCAR, tennis, MMA, boxing, disc golf, Euro basketball, cricket, and more. Entries can be made in 60 seconds or less. It's just that easy. Safe and fast withdrawals currently operational in over 30 states and Canada. Download the PrizePicks app or go to PrizePicks.com to sign up and play daily fantasy sports today. First-time users can receive a 100% instant deposit match up to $100 with promo code LOCKEDON. If you deposit $100, PrizePicks gives you $100. If you deposit $50, PrizePicks gives you $50. It's just that simple. Don't forget to enter promo code LOCKEDON and sign up for an instant deposit match up to $100 at PrizePicks. It's daily fantasy made easy. So I want to thank you guys again for making Locked On Pistons your first listen of every single day. We are free and available on all your podcast platforms. If you haven't already, head to the YouTube channel at Locked On Pistons, hit that subscribe button, or leave us a 5-star review on whatever podcast platform you are listening to this on. That's another great way to support the podcast. We got some news about Bojan coming up, but once again, I want to apologize for all of you guys who listen on the podcast platforms. I really am apologetic for not getting that podcast out in the morning like we always do. I really did just forget to click schedule. It was on the YouTube like the normal schedule. I just don't know what happened there, so I apologize for that, guys. Really do. And also want to continue to let you guys know that I'm hosting watch parties during all the Pistons game over at playback.tv. You guys can go in the comment section, or not the comment section, the description down below, hit on that link, and you can come chill in the room with us, and I'll be, commentating and taking questions, having you guys come up on stage with me while we watch the Pistons game together. It's a super cool experience. You guys want to be a part of it, click the link down in the description down below. Really fun thing that we've been doing lately. It's been a lot of fun. But anyways, Bojan Bogdanovic. This is going to be an interesting segment because I know this is going to be it's already been a heated conversation. I've been watching all of you guys that are on Twitter. You guys have been eating each other up. I know it's been a hot topic on Reddit too. This is going to be a interesting conversation. I can't wait to see this comment section and what you guys be tweeting at me and DMing me. But Bojan Bogdanovic is going to be a heated topic of discussion when it comes to the trade market, especially once December 15th rolls. So 2 more days, all the way until the deadline. It's going to be some heated stuff. So according to Shams of The Athletic, said that the Lakers are really going after Bojan Bogdanovic, and there's close to a dozen teams that are interested in Bojan Bogdanovic. But the Lakers obviously is one of the most noteworthy ones. And it says right here, I'm going to go ahead and just read it word for word here. The Lakers are prioritizing shooting in their conversations with teams that have discussed packages, including salaries and protected first-round picks for Detroit's Bojan Bogdanovic, who were, according to league sources, who were granted anonymous so they could speak freely, tell The Athletic. So there's another report that I kind of want to get to, but I wanted to stay right there first. And then we'll get into another report, which kind of sheds more light on it because this didn't make much. I questioned this a little bit at first. I was like, there has to be more to this. And then another report came out and it made it make more sense. But just to stay here real quick. So the first question I want to ask you guys is, should the Pistons be interested in trading Bojan Bogdanovic, and should they trade him to the Los Angeles Lakers? And the answer to both of those, I think, yes, they should be trying to trade Bojan by the deadline. And yes, but, yes, if to the Lakers. If the Lakers are willing to give unprotected first in the future, one of those 25, 27 first-round picks unprotected, that's a legitimate piece to have. That's a legitimate asset to have, and they should seriously consider taking it if they can for Bojan Bogdanovic. And before we move on to the second report that kind of, sheds more light on this, I just want to speak to that part right there, because I know a lot of you guys have been arguing amongst yourselves, oh, we don't want to be, why are we trading Bojan for a 12-year-old or 13-year-old? Why does that matter right now? I need everyone to understand this part. And this is what we're going to do to segue this into the next topic. Or the next report, I should say. I need everyone to understand this. The Pistons do not have rights to their own first-round pick. The way they got Isaiah Stewart, they traded their first-round pick, their future first-round pick, to the Houston Rockets. It's just heavily protected. So do the Pistons have their first-round pick next year? Yes, if it's top 16 protected, which obviously it's going to. So they don't have to worry about losing the first-round pick, but they don't have rights to that first-round pick. They can't trade that. And you want to know what that means? They can't trade a first-round pick until 2029's first-round pick, which eliminates them in basically any trade package for any kind of star, all-star that becomes available. The Pistons can't get active in that because they don't have first to offer right now. And you saw last offseason when Troy Weaver got himself a first-round pick in that Jeremy Grant trade. Once he finally had a first-round pick to work with, he immediately flipped it for who? Oh, the Pistons center of the future, Jalen Duren, who looks really enticing. So even if you don't think the Pistons should be taking that first-round pick to select with in 25-27, it's not just about selecting with that 25-27 first-round pick. It's about the fact that if you have that pick in your arsenal to trade, which the league has been reported multiple times, that the league is valuing very heavily because of what the Lakers' future looks like. That's going to be an incredible asset to have, possibly in future trades, to get a star. So that's something I just need you guys to understand about. It's not just about possibly getting a 12-year-old 5 years from now. That's not what it just is about. The Pistons need first-round picks to be able to do future trades for a big name, and they don't have those right now. They don't have any pick to work with right now. So if they can use Bojan to get them more assets, more picks that can enable them to then go after a big name in the future, so they're actually a player in those talks, they absolutely should do it. But they should not be doing it for a protected first-round pick. And within this report from Shams, it said the Pistons were reluctant to trading Bojan Bogdanovic. So after reading that, I said to myself, I don't really buy that the Pistons are just straight up reluctant to trading Bojan Bogdanovic. There must be more to that. But, the report came out. I wasn't going to argue with it or anything. It just felt a little bit fishy to me. But then a report came out from Mark Stein, who said that the Pistons are looking for a first-round pick without protections on it, and that the Pistons are also asking for more. So this is what he exactly said right here. The Pistons have to date declined those overtures, sources add, insisting on a fully unprotected future first from the Lakers to seriously entertain a Bojan Bogdanovic swap. Detroit, in fact, continues to tell teams that it wants to keep Bojan, who is averaging 21 points and shooting 50% from the field on 43% from deep as a Piston. Now, this makes a lot more sense. So what does this tell me? This does not tell me that the Pistons are keeping Bojan Bogdanovic off the market. This does not tell me that the Pistons are just straight up reluctant and they're refusing to trade him. They're refusing to trade him for what teams are trying to get away with right now. If the Lakers were to offer one of those first-round picks that are unprotected, the Pistons would consider that, just like Mark Stein reported in his report. But right now, it doesn't seem like the Pistons are getting those. And should they trade Bojan for less than what they want? Absolutely not. They can hold on to Bojan. This is one of those ones where I believe they should trade Bojan, but for that right price for a first-round draft pick. If you're not getting that unprotected first-round draft pick, you shouldn't trade him, because also keeping him, there is some value in keeping him as well, letting him be a veteran presence on the team. He's not, obviously, he helps them play better. And, even there's two ways to look at this from this point of view, the age point of view. He's a shooter and he should age well in that department. But also, I'm going to use the age argument to show why I believe the Pistons should be looking to trade him. And then, obviously, I want to hear your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below or over on Twitter. Next season, Bojan's going to be 34 years old. Right now, he's 33. He's having the best season of his career right now. Of his career. Do you guys think it's likely that at 33, going on 34 years old, that he's going to be able to replicate this next year at 34 years old? You have to be honest with yourself and say that's probably unlikely. For him to be having the best season of his career at 33 years old gives the Pistons a prime situation to be in where they can pounce on a dude's value being so incredibly high like it is right now and get legitimate assets for the future instead of waiting for that value to depreciate over the next year or so once he hits 34 years old, 35 years old. And he's likely going to be 35 years old before the Pistons are really contributing to like major kind of wins until they're trying to get like the second round of playoffs kind of thing. And by then, what kind of player is he going to be? Yeah, he may be a shooter, but he won't be nearly like this. So if he was like 27, 28, I'd be more, interested in keeping him. But at 33 years old, you've already had an injury scare once this year with him. He's having the best year of his career at 33. He's going to be 34 next year. It's unlikely to assume that he's going to be able to do this at 34 next year. Eventually, either next year or the year after, he's going to fall off. Everyone's not LeBron James. Everyone doesn't just age gracefully like that. I know that's like something that's misconstrued in people's heads now because we've watched LeBron James be a superstar for 20-something thousand years. But not everyone does that. So that's another reason why I think the Pistons should capitalize on this, because he's given them such an outstanding season at 33 years old. The Pistons really could get a future asset that could help them make a bigger trade in the offseason for a big-time name. Whoever that may be to ask out, we never know. But right now, they don't have anything to play with in that market. And it looks like Bojan's going to be their only thing that could get them players in that market. If the team's going to be shopping off one of their all-stars, one of their star young players, or maybe a middle-aged star players, they don't want a veteran in return. They're probably blowing it up. They probably want to reset a little bit. So offering Bojan in return isn't going to do much. If you can offer picks, though, in return, along with salary fillers and maybe an intriguing young player, now you're talking. The Pistons don't have that. Bojan can get them that. That's incredibly important to me to have that kind of flexibility and to be able to be players in that market. And that's why I'd consider trading Bojan Bogdanovic, but only for an unprotected first. They don't get unprotected first. You don't trade him. You just hold on to him because he's also giving you value by just staying on the team. That was a long segment, but we had to get into all that. I wanted to give a full-on explanation for where we're at right now and why I feel the way we feel. I feel. Let me know in the comment section down below how you guys feel about this, or over on Twitter at KukaHill. When we come back, I want to talk about what the Pistons should be looking forward, what you guys should be looking forward to seeing from the Pistons moving forward without Cade Cunningham in the lineup now officially for the rest of the year, and who this helps the most. If you have to look for a silver lining, who is this helping the most on the roster? We'll talk about that when we come back. But first, I got to tell you guys about one of our sponsors, BetOnline.net. BetOnline.net is your number one source for sports betting info, stats, news, and analysis. Get the latest odds and trends for every professional and amateur league out there. From pro football to college bowl season to basketball and World Cup, we've got it all at BetOnline.net. If you love sports podcasts, you can even find those at BetOnline as well. We're always the fastest and easiest way to get your betting info. Head to the betting website today or use your mobile device to learn more about their trends and action today. If you head over to BetOnline.net right now and you click on that basketball tab, you will see that they got the favorites over there, the odds for MVP, Coach of the Year, Sixth Man of the Year, Rookie of the Year, comeback player. You got best odds to win the championship. You got best odds to get the number one pick already. Best odds to finish with the worst record in the league. You got all kinds of stuff over there already in the basketball tab at BetOnline.net. Make sure you're checking that out. And make sure you're constantly heading to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more about their trends and action today. BetOnline, where the game starts. So I want to thank you guys again for making Locked On Pistons your first listen of every single day. We are free and available on all your podcast platforms. If you haven't already, head to the YouTube channel at Locked On Pistons, hit that subscribe button, or leave us a 5-star review on whatever podcast platform you are listening to this on. That's another great way to support the podcast. Like I said at the end of the last segment, or midway through that last segment, I know that one's going to be a really heated topic in the comment section down below. Everyone, this is a sore subject for Pistons fans right now. Do you or do you not trade Bojan Bogdanovic? No, he's helping us win so much that right now you can't move on from him. He's helping us so much en route to a terrible season. Oh, you absolutely should trade him. Who cares? Even though it's a protected first. It's going to be some heated. I can't wait to see what y'all are saying. It's going to be such heated stuff going on in the comment section and my DMs as well. Oh my goodness! But I want to get back to the ripple effect of Cade Cunningham's injury. Now, look, I want to make sure I say this one more time because there are some people who will try to twist my words, clip a clip of this podcast and tweet it out, or try to spread it and make it seem like I'm trying to make positivity and trying to say that Cade getting hurt's good. No, it's not good. None of us want to see Cade get hurt. We all would rather see Cade Cunningham on the floor. But the fact of the matter is, he's out. He's out for the year. And instead of, we could sit around and cry about it. We can sit around and wallow about it and, just, not look ahead and not look at what this does to the team. We could just sit here and be depressed about it. Or we can accept that that's the case, be sad about it, but now look at what this possibly could do and try to spin some kind of positivity for this team moving forward of what could come out of this. And that's what I'm going to do here. So no, it's not good. I'm not happy that Cade is hurt, and it's not a great thing that their face of the franchise got hurt. Everyone would rather see Cade on the floor. I think that's obvious, but everything's not common sense nowadays. You gotta explain things further. So with Cade being out now, what's the best silver linings that you can come up with for this situation? Well, I think my biggest silver lining is the fact that Cade's not going to have to deal with this injury no more. This is something that apparently has been reoccurring for him over the past year or so. And now that he gets this surgery, he's able to rest, and he won't have to deal with these lower body injury, or let me not say he just won't ever have a lower body injury, but this specific lower body injury that's been bothering him for a year now. He won't have to deal with this popping back up again, especially at the beginning of the year. And I saw some people who are some sports doctors on YouTube. I saw some sports doctors on Twitter. I followed them. I wanted to see what they thought about this. And I saw some say that they feel like this may have, been heightened by his, rushing back from an ankle injury. Maybe never let that ankle injury last year get back to full strength, and now that put more pressure on his shin. Who knows? That's a bunch of speculation. My overall point is that hopefully next year, going to his third year, we don't have a beginning of the year lower body injury that holds Cade back, because he's going to be getting surgery on this, and he's going to be coming back fully healthy, and it won't be a recurring injury like it could have possibly been if he just rested and tried to come back this year. So that's the immediate first takeaway, is that Cade, beginning of next year, he'll be full strength and be ready to go and take the world by storm next year. So that's the best takeaway by far. Second, hopefully when Cade comes back, there will be a top pick to play with him this year. The Pistons, as you guys see right now, I know a lot of you guys thought this team was ready this season. They simply weren't. I tried telling everybody they weren't ready this year, and the team itself is not very good. And you guys see that, they got a young core. They got a decent young core. They got young guys to believe in. They got young guys that they want to see improvements from. But those guys aren't ready yet right now to contribute to actual winning NBA basketball. And they also need more of those guys. They don't have enough of those guys. They need more of them. And this offseason, it looks like they're going to be able to add another top tier one, whether it's pick 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Hopefully it's 1, obviously, to get Wembanyama. But this is a stacked draft class. This is going to be an amazing draft class, especially at the top. And as long as they can get a top 5, I want them, I think they should at least get a top 3. But as long as they can get a top 5 pick, you're adding another big piece to Cade Cunningham's team. And that will also help Cade come back next year. So he's playing with a squad that when he's sitting on the bench is not statistically one of the worst teams in NBA history when he's on the floor. That's another silver line to take away from that. So again, like I said this earlier in the podcast. I'm sorry that we have to talk about this already in December, but it is what it is. This is our reality now. And then the last silver line that we have is the increased role and the increased what's the word I'm looking for? The longer leash and the increased role on the floor for Jaden Ivey and Killian Hayes. We've already seen how Killian Hayes has played with Cade Cunningham, how he's capitalized and turned the season around with Cade out. How he's played, the extensive look he's got, the role that he's playing within the offense, how he's able to play without looking over his shoulder, how he's looking for his own shot, he's scoring the ball better. I know the last 4 games, actually, he had a game sandwiched in between that was 17, 12, and 6 against the Pelicans. That was a really good game. But outside that, the last 4 games, so really 3 of his last 4 games, he's not shooting the ball very well. And one of those games, he's a foul trouble guy. So I want to see him bounce back Wednesday and try to turn and try and get back on track. But overall, you're seeing how he's capitalizing on that chance. And he's going to continue to have the rest of the year to really show everyone in the Pistons fan base in the front office what he's capable of. And is he actually going to be the X factor of this rebuild moving forward? And then also their number 5 pick from this year, Jaden Ivey, is going to have increased on-ball reps, which is what he needs. It's his biggest area to improve on is on-ball reps. He doesn't make the best decisions with the ball in his hands right now. He moves way too fast with the ball in his hands right now. He struggles with the in-between game right now. But how else are you going to improve that? What's a better way to improve that? By consistently getting reps and being able to see yourself struggle, but be allowed and be able to work through that and continue to get the reps while you struggle so you can eventually at the end of the year look back and say, look, yeah, I struggled with this massively this past year, but I was better in the December than I was in November. I was better in January than I was in December. I was better in February than I was in January. I was better in March than I was in February. And it's because I got these reps all year long. I got these increased reps I wouldn't have had otherwise. And I think that's what Jaden Ivey is going to get. And I think that will be good for him. Again, I want to make this very, very clear. It's not good that Cade Cunningham got hurt. We are not happy that Cade Cunningham got hurt. I'm not happy that Cade Cunningham got hurt. But these are things that we can see come out of it. A bad situation can have some good results out of it. And I think these are some good things that you can see come out of this bad situation that we see with Cade Cunningham having surgery. You get possibly another very, very big time young talent if they were to get Wembanyama, or a top 5 pick in this draft. You get to see Cade Cunningham come back completely healthy and not have to worry about that shin injury coming back up again for a 3rd straight year. And then also his teammates in Killian Hayes and Jaden Ivey are going to have increased looks and a chance to really, get these reps this year that will help them moving forward. So those are the best silver linings I have to take out of this. Let me know what your guys' best silver linings for this awful news with Cade Cunningham missing the entire year in the comment section down below or over on Twitter @KukaHill. But that's all I've got for you guys today. Thank you guys for making Locked On Pistons your first listen of every single day. We are free and available on our podcast platforms. Hit that subscribe button at the YouTube channel, Locked On Pistons. Leave us a 5-star review on whatever podcast platform you are listening to this on. I appreciate all of you guys. Stay safe out there. Go Pistons. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. Peace out.